So this is actually part 5 of the Bernard Malmud's The Fixer. And so please forgive me, this is number 5. Part 5, and this is the last scene between Yaakov and his father-in-law before Yaakov sets off with the horse. And they're discussing the daughter, Shmuel's daughter who married Yaakov, who ran away from him. So he's going to Kiev, and Yaakov is talking about his life. I've been cheated from the start, Yaakov said bitterly. What I've been through personally, you know already, not to mention living here all my life except for a few months in the army. The shtetl is a prison, no change from the days of Chmielnicki. It molders, and the Jews molder in it. Here we're all prisoners. I don't have to tell you. So it's time to try elsewhere. I finally decided I want to make a living. I want to get acquired with a bit of the world. I've read a few books in recent years, and it's surprising what goes on that none of us knows about. I'm not asking for Tibet, but what I saw in St. Petersburg interested me. Whoever thought of white knights before, but it's a scientific fact. They have them there. When I left the army, I thought I would get out of here as soon as possible, but things caught up with me, including your daughter. My daughter wanted to run away from here the minute you got married, but you wouldn't go. It's true, said Yaakov. It was my fault. I thought it couldn't get worse, so it must get better. I was wrong both ways, so now enough is enough. I'm on my way at last. Outside, the pale, only wealthy Jews and the professional classes can get residence certificates. The Tsar doesn't want poor Jews all over his land. And Stoilpin, may his lungs collapse, urges them on. Phew! Shmuel spat through 2 fingers. Since I can't be a professional on account of lack of education, I wouldn't mind being wealthy. As the saying goes, I'd sell my last shirt to be a millionaire. Maybe by luck, I'll make my fortune in the outside world, says Yaakov. What's in the world, Shmuel says, is in the shtetl. People, their trials, worries, circumstances, but here at least God is with us. He's with us till the Cossacks come galloping. Then he's elsewhere. He's in the court. He's in the outhouse. That's where he is. Wow, that's a really strong statement, and it's quite an interesting philosophical debate. Where is God when the Jews have trouble? So he's saying he's in the outhouse. Yaakov says that's where he is. He's very angry at God after he's witnessed all this violence. The peddler grimaced, but let the remark pass. Almost 50,000 Jews live in Kiev, he said, restricted to a few districts, and all in the way of the first blow that falls if a new pogrom should come. And it will fall faster in the larger places than it falls here. When we hear their cries, we will rush into the woods. Why should you walk straight into the hands of the Black Hundreds? May they hang by their tongues. The truth of it is, I'm a man full of wants I'll never satisfy, or at least not here. It's time to get out and take a chance. Change your place, change your luck, people say. That's a Hebrew saying. When you change your place, you change your luck. So, משנה מקום, משנה מזל. Since the last year or so, Yaakov, you're a different man. What wants are so important? Asks the father-in-law. Those that can't sleep and keep me awake for company. I've told you what wants. A full stomach now and then. A job that pays rubles, not noodles. And even some education if I can get it. And I don't mean workmen studying Torah after hours. I've had my share of that. What I want to know is what's going on in the world. That's all in the Torah. There's no end to it. Stay away from the wrong books, Yaakov, the impure. So this is a big debate between a period called the Haskalah, the education, and the old world of the Torah studies, the Jews that said we don't need to know anything because anything outside of the Torah contains everything. And this is a debate you still, when you encounter ultra-Orthodox Jews today, they claim they don't need to study science, their children don't need to study mathematics or languages or history. Everything is in the Torah. So this is what the father-in-law is representing, this argument about the old world. Everything is in the Torah. So this is what the Yaakov answers him. There are no wrong books. What's wrong is the fear of them. Shmuel unstuck his hat and wiped his brow with his handkerchief. Yaakov, if you want to go to foreign parts, Turks or no Turks, why not to Palestine, where a Jew can see Jewish trees and mountains and breathe the Jewish air? If I had half a chance, that's where I'd go. All I've had in this miserable town is beggarly existence. Now I'll try Kiev. If I can live there decently, that's all I'll do. If not, I'll make sacrifices, save up, and head for Amsterdam for a boat to America. To sum it up, I have little, but I have plans. Plans or none, you're looking for trouble. I've never had to look, said the fixer. Well, Shmuel, good luck to you. The morning's gone, so I'd better go. He'd climbed up onto the wagon and reached for the reins. I'll ride with you as far as the windmills. Shmuel got up on the seat on the other side. So he's having a hard time letting go of his son-in-law, despite the argument. Yaakov touched the nag with a birch switch the old man kept in the holder. A hole bored into the edge of the seat, but the horse, after an initial startled gallop, stopped short and stood motionless in the road. Personally, I never use it, the peddler remarked. It's there as a warning. If he dawdles, I remind him it's there. He seems to like to hear me talk about it. If that's the case, I'm better off walking. Patience, Shmuel smacked his lips. Giddy up, beauty. He's very vain. Whenever you can afford it, Yaakov, feed him oats. Too much grass and he's prone to gas. If he's prone to gas, let him fart. He flicked the reins. Yaakov didn't look back. The nag moved along a crooked road between black plowed fields and dark round haystacks piled up here and there. The peasant's church, visible to the left in the distance, then slowly up the narrow stony cemetery road, a few thin yellow willows amidst the graves, and around a low tombstone-covered hill where Yaakov's parents, a man and a woman in their early 20s, lay buried. He had considered a visit to their weed-strewn graves, but hadn't the heart at the last minute. The past was a wound in the head. He thought of Razel and felt depressed. The fixer snapped the rod against the nag's ribs, but got no increase of emotion. I'll get to Kiev by Chanukah. If you don't get there, it's because God wills it. You won't miss a thing. A schnorrer in rags, a schnorrer is someone who's a beggar in Yiddish. A schnorrer in rag called to the fixer from besides a tilted tombstone. Hey, there, Yaakov, it's Friday. How about a 2 kopek piece for Shabbat blessing? Charity saves from death. Death is the last of my worries. Lend me a kopek or 2, Yaakov, said Shmuel. A kopek I haven't earned today. The schnorrer, a man with ugly feet, called him Goy. Goy is a non-Jew. His mouth twisted, eyes lit in anger. Yaakov spat in the road. Shmuel said a prayer to ward off evil.